we are rolling. Thank you guys for joining. This is our second agenda call. My name's Daniel Keys, co-founder and COO of EOS Nation. We're proud to be platinum sponsors of the EOS Community Conference in Rio. And yeah, like I said, this is our second agenda call. The last call, we came up with high-level themes and some potential streams that we want to focus the talks into. Today, I think, will be a good opportunity for us to now start getting more, getting more into the details of what these streams will be, trying to come up with specific topics within each of those streams and identify speakers. Tiago, I believe you might have, before we get started, some announcements regarding sponsors.
Yeah. We are very happy to have Boss Core as a partner for the second ECC in Rio. Thank you, Wingling. We've been working literally day and night, right? And it will just be great having you guys on board. We hope we can also extend the visibility in China and in Asia and get everyone on board. We'll have live streaming for people around the world to participate on the community conference. So awesome to have Boss guys with us.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Yeah, great to have you guys. It's awesome. Awesome to hear. Good news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am just here to facilitate. I'm by no means the master of ceremonies or boss. So what I've put on the agenda here is to again get more in depth into the specific streams we identified. But I'm leaving it open to those of you on the call if there's anything else worth discussing on the agenda, anyone else wants to bring up on today's call, or any other approaches anyone wants to consider taking. The floor is open if anyone has anything to add to the agenda now. All right, well, I will take silence as what sounds like the path we're taking now is good. Feel free to jump in at any time. And let's get started. So on the last call, there was, one second here. Yeah, on the last call, we came up with 3 main themes. Well, yeah, we actually 4. So what is happening in Latin America? Since this is going to be held in Rio, we thought it would be a good opportunity to share the local atmosphere with the attendees. So what's happening with Latin America? What is the crypto blockchain market here? We were thinking that perhaps that could be kind of like an introductory type thing, if I'm remembering correctly. And then kind of more three kind of streams that we would have multiple talks within. So one of those would be solutions. So blockchain as tangible tools for real solutions. We want to talk about real use cases that are actually solving real problems in blockchain right now. We want to talk about, another stream was governance. So we'd have different stakeholders discussing points of view on governance in various aspects. So I'm going to mute someone here. I hear some, I think it's this one here. Okay. Governance, have different stakeholders discuss points of view on governance. And then finally, technology. So we did come up with a few topics already for each of these streams. Under the solution stream, we wanted to talk about kind of social use cases, improving the lives of specifically people in Latin America. So that's kind of tied to that first theme we discussed. No particular speaker identified yet. So we want to check with BPs in the community to see if there are any particular project we could showcase for that. Stable coins are a important solution especially for countries that have devaluing currencies. Miles Snyder was brought up as a good speaker for that topic. He did a talk in Argentina, and that was, from what I understand, I was not there unfortunately, but from what I understand, it was very well received. And then a couple other things that were brought up under solutions. Loan is being built in Argentina. Politics and public administration. Karma, Family EOS, they're doing a donation-based income for Venezuelans in need, and Voice. So if we can get somebody either from Block 1 or another thing we discussed on the last call, even if we can't get someone from Block 1, at least get someone from the community who is intimately familiar with Voice and the solutions it's solving. It would be good to get a deep dive into Voice at this conference. And again, we'll see, by then 1.8 will be live. We don't know when Voice will be live, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hype leading up to the launch. And if it has already launched, there's going to be a lot of exciting things to talk about. Regarding governance, so we know that Eve will be in town to talk about boss governance. So I've added that to the list. This is not something we talked about on the last call, but something that I'm aware of. And then under technology, we will want to talk about scaling, IBC, and 3-second lib, which we know that Igor will be doing a talk on 3-second lib. So those are the topics we've identified so far. One thing we discussed in the last call also is kind of the dynamics. We want to keep our keynotes to 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to have some panels that are 30 to 40 minutes long with 2 to 3 panelists. We're going to keep them kind of non-adversarial, more a conversation, and we're going to need to find strong moderators to keep those keynotes or those panels flowing. So does anyone have any thoughts on either any of the things I mentioned here or ideas for things to add? And another thing, and I'm not sure if this is something that you can share, Tiago. Obviously we're going to need to find speakers. Ideally, we want speakers who can be present with us, although we will be accommodating, video conferencing if that's necessary. Are you able, and I don't know if this is maybe something we can discuss offline, able to share who we have confirmed as attendees? Because that would be a pool we could potentially draw from for speakers. So if we know who is coming, we have kind of a list of, okay, these are easy people to add to the list of speakers if they can speak to one of these topics. In addition, people who aren't coming yet, we can target and try to get them to come down.
Yeah, I can fetch a list of people that we know are coming. One thing relating this, I mean, Chidi just said here that we should call mutual loans on the moneda par, because it's more accurate since it's peer-to-peer.
Okay, so is that a correction to one of the things I have here under solutions?
Yeah, it's the line 16. B16.
Okay, yeah, that's called mutual loans.
Mutual loans, yes. We possibly will have Vahid from EOS Sweden, and he can talk about Liberland governance.
Aha, that would be good.
Yeah, since the Ghostbusters are working with him.
And you said that's Vahid?
Yeah.
Did I spell that right?
Yeah, perfect. We'll see if we can get like the Liberland president, but Vahid is great. He's really into governance. It will also be great to have like other side chains talking about governance, and maybe a governance panel to discuss the different approaches and people that are working on EOS, maybe just so that we can put a lot of ideas on people's heads so they go to the conference with those in mind also.
Right. What's do you have a specific panel topic related to governance in mind? Like, we're talking like the voting mechanics?
Oh, I don't know. I really like I think it's everything's kind of related, right? It's a complex system, so you possibly you could have changes on voting dynamic or on inflation distribution.
Right.
Or,
So there's the voting, inflation distribution. Those are both good topics. And right now, so anything I'm putting in here, they're ideas. These can all change as we go, as we, these topics can be refined as we know more in more detail who specifically are our speakers and what they can talk to the best. So for now, feel free to spitball ideas. We'll put them down and then we can kind of refine it as we go. So far we've got, and then under technology scaling, IBC, 3-second lib. I think a good one to add under technology is identity.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So we just had the big patent come out from Block One regarding decentralized identity. It's pretty heavily tied into voice. Identity also fits under solutions. It's a technology and a solution thing. It might even fit better under solutions.
Yeah, I was thinking about that maybe you have like enabling technology or enabling solutions, right? Because you have identity and then you have like liquid apps and DSPs that would be enabling solutions, and maybe other things that will help app developers, because we want to have developers, Brazilian developers there. So if we can also give them a tech stack they can start with to make it easier for them to develop the apps, I think it's a nice thing to have.
Right. So was there a topic there that I missed under technology for?
I would say that this would be maybe a separate or even under solution, which is like the base layer solution or something like that.
Yeah. So I've moved identity to solutions. Okay. And you mentioned liquid apps. Does that fit? That's a scaling topic, right? Or is there more scaling than liquid apps?
No, I think
is that its own topic.
Apps make sense, yeah, and scaling.
Yeah.
But I would maybe put identity there in technology.
Yeah,
because
okay.
those are enabling technologies.
Okay. Yeah, and then voice is the example solution.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts on who we could get to speak on identity or IBC? Why is this fun? We can leave it open for now. Any thoughts regarding the panel, the governance panel? Who would be good to speak on either voting dynamics or inflation distribution? Another topic, I'm kind of moving topics here, is I'm losing the word in my head. What am I trying to say? Are there people in the community? Why can't I think of the word? We've got people in the community who have large audiences. I'm thinking like people like EOS Radio, Colin Talks Crypto, influencers.
Influencers?
Yes, thank you. And it would be great if we can get some influencers on board, either to attend, or if not attending, at least sharing with their communities that this is happening, getting people excited about it.
I think, was it Rio that talked to Ashe Oro on Twitter? I think I saw something, like an informal invitation. Maybe we can make it more formal.
Yeah. I'm going to be on EOS Radio today, so I'll make sure I give this a plug while I'm on the show, and I'll talk to Ash about trying to get him there. So EOS Radio. I've already reached out to Colin from Colin Talks Crypto. It sounds like he's stuck in where is he? Puerto Rico. He has to remain there for a certain period of time. I don't think he's going to be able to leave during the conference, but we can definitely try to get him to help promote.
Awesome.
Daniel, Autumn from Shios here. Hey, guys.
Good to see
Hey,
you.
everyone. You too. What about also inviting influencers that have typically in the past focused on other chains, but have kind of dipped their toe in the EOS love?
Love that idea.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically like Naomi Brockwell, who
Mhm.
gave it kind of a fun, nice showing at the EOS Summit in San Francisco. People like her that I think are more interested in the space and the technology, you know, that are more chain agnostic, but maybe just haven't been folded into our crew quite yet. I think it would be great to get more of those
Yeah.
types of influencers to start making more of the bridges, right, that we need to be making.
Yeah, that's great. And are there any kind of general crypto publications? And did I spell her name right? I hope so. I'm gonna make sure I do some spell checking after. Are there any like crypto publications like CoinDesk or any of these type of things we want to reach out to try to either get them involved, come down to, you know, give some press during the event, or, you know, leading up to the event, helping to spread the word?
We have contacts.
I think that's a great idea.
In Brazil. Yeah, we're talking to them.
Okay, so I will. Anyone in particular I should write down here, or maybe I'll just leave that until you confirm.
Yeah, you can just put Cointelegraph. I'll confirm with him who's.
Okay, Cointelegraph. Cool. I missed that. Cointelegraph.
We have other influencers, local influencers, but we are working that like offline.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, there's a few journalists that kind of focus on crypto topics that I think would be a great invite as well.
Yeah. Anything that you can think of off the top of your head, or if not, feel free to share them in the.
Yeah, I'll send a few names. I'll drop
Awesome.
a couple names in the thread.
Maybe what I can do is share access to this. And anyone who wants to contribute to the document is welcome to. I'll add it in the chat. And there you go. So that is an editable link. Try not to delete everything that we've copied, that we've got on here, but yeah, feel free to add stuff. Okay, so all right, we're making some progress. Any other topics, people, or otherwise, or even other streams that we, you know, failed to, you know, we got some new people on the line here. Solutions, governance, and technology were the streams that we came up with on the last call, but maybe somebody on the line has thoughts for an alternative. Okay, sounds like we're aligned. Yes, and we see Yves will be here. Yeah, so I've got Yves down as he's going to be doing a governance talk on Boss. We've got Igor doing a 3-second lib. We need to think about identity. We need to think about IBC. Is there anyone can think of someone who will be here, or someone we can invite who could talk to IBC? And there's a Liquid Apps kind of, both a Boss does IBC. Liquid Apps is starting to do their kind of Ethereum.
Yeah, maybe IBC we can in live stream talk about both IBC.
Okay, so that's we'll put that as a possibility. And then another option I'm going to put down is, again, we already have Liquid Apps under scaling, but again, we're just spitballing here. We can put all the ideas we have and then figure out which ones make the most sense as we get closer. So Liquid Apps, cross-chain stuff. Anything else happening in the IBC world in EOS or elsewhere? And then identity, obviously, if we can get someone from B1, Dan in particular, it's a long shot, but hey, worth a shot.
Yeah. Do you think privacy
Same.
is something that we should discuss?
Under technology, privacy. That sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that's another, like, privacy as a technology, privacy as a solution. We've got what is it? PEOS, the privacy coin.
Yeah.
Is it, what else related to privacy do we got in the EOS world? That's the one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah. Me as well.
Well, there was Privios, but honestly, I'm not sure at what stage that project is anymore. It's been a little while.
Right. I'll put it down. Privios. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right. And Daniel, I don't think that Ben Sigmund is planning to attend. I have to double check with him, but if he does, certainly the EOS 21 protocol could be part of the IBC discussion.
Aha. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is also someone that I know that is working on a zero knowledge proof that will fit in privacy. I'll talk to him and see if he can come down to here. Maybe he's a mathematician, so it could be interesting. Maybe next week zero knowledge proof. Next week I'll confirm.
Okay, I'm gonna put your name in brackets there, that since you're looking into it.
Cool.
Just so I don't forget who to follow up with. Okay, it's getting fleshed out. This is good. What else? So we should keep an eye on. So how much time do we have in total for this, Tiago?
I think that we are planning 5 to 6 hours total. So considering that we have like half an hour coffee break,
yeah,
you can count on 5 or 5.5 for content.
One of the things we learned from Tulip was we were jam-packed. We need to maybe keep it a little less jam-packed this time. We need time for bathrooms and breathing and food, and so we're gonna make sure we manage the kind of the balance of breaks and speakers more carefully this time.
But we are somewhat flexible with time. We are trying not to start in the morning, so people have free mornings.
Excellent.
But we can have 5 to 6 hours of content.
Excellent. So we have, like, we can end whenever we want to. Like, we have flexibility with the venue and the staff on that. Yeah. Great.
We have.
We did not have that flexibility at Tulip, so that's good to hear.
Yeah. I remember, but there we are okay with that. I can confirm, but this is a venue that is also like rented for marriages. So
okay, so they go late. They're used to going late.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they got good weddings in Rio? Do they party hard at the weddings in Rio? Is a big deal?
Party hard, and you don't need to wed for that. But when you're getting married, people have to get wasted. That's like something that you do to honor the groom and bride. It's important.
It's the main objective.
Yeah.
And what about when you're talking about EOS governance? Also need to get wasted, I think.
Even more necessary.
There you need more, like, you have to have hallucinated, like that's not an average beer.
Yeah. I'm gonna put these on the high end, right? So we were saying 15 to 20 minutes for talks and 30 to 40 minutes for panels. I'm gonna just give us some extra cushion and just assume it's gonna be on the high end for now. So this is gonna be 20. Do we have any ideas for panels in technology?
I think that panels are interesting when you have kind of competing solutions or you have this kind of discussion and dialogues. I
Yeah.
don't know if we have on those, if we have competing solutions.
Right. Okay. We don't have to force it. So yeah, if we come up with some kind of there's a debate here in this technology solution, would make for a good panel.
How about the voting logic? For US, it's 1 vote for 30 BPs.
Yes.
But as we all know, that is primaries. Maybe someone want to.
Yeah. So I think that's what we meant here by voting. So
Okay.
it might be worth. I think they're both very good topics. Voting and inflation distribution. Like, there's no harm in having, especially if we're not having panels in the other. We can have 2 panels under governance.
Okay.
So panel, inflation distribution, and then voting mechanics. Those I'm going to set as 40. Do we know, I know we had called out Miles as a speaker for the stablecoin. Do we know if he's coming?
Yeah, I talked to Miles. He's 90% sure he's coming. He's looking at flight dates because he wants to stay a little bit more in Rio.
Great.
But yeah, I can confirm maybe for next week, but I'm pretty sure he's coming. And
I know that we've got Equilibrium is one of the sponsors, right, or supporters. What's is there some like sponsors? Do we have certain commitments to sponsors that they're going to have to take a spot of, and they have particular topics in mind? Like, are we missing any commitments on this list here that we know, you know, they're sponsors and they're going to be doing a talk of some kind?
No, we are not. I think Equilibrium is great in a stable coin panel, because we have different approaches to that, and it's important, but there's nothing like promised for them on this regard.
Okay. So we're thinking as a having a panel on stablecoins with Miles and Equilibrium, or would this be its own topic and then there's a separate kind of, so this is like I envision it as like why are stablecoins important to countries with devaluing currencies, and then another topic is more like just from a technology perspective, different approaches to creating stablecoins.
Well, the conference that Miles did in Argentina was mainly explaining what a stablecoin is, what different types of stablecoins there are. You know, you have decentralized stablecoins, you have stablecoins with a collateral, and then you have centralized stablecoins. It was more like an introduction. I was thinking maybe he can do like an introduction of stablecoin for those people that, you know, don't still have it clear what's the difference between a centralized stablecoin, not centralized, and how it can help Latin American countries. And then I'm not sure if probably Equilibrium wants to talk about how their stablecoin works, maybe.
Well, sorry, I missed that. What that Equilibrium? Yeah. So
yeah, maybe they want to explain more their product.
Yeah.
Specifically. I'm not sure if we can have a debate on that issue.
Yeah.
But that would be a great topic for a panel, you know? It's actually like, you know, a solution that have different approaches.
Yeah.
And the panel could be out of that, you know, the different types of stablecoins that we have, and discussing the possible applications for these projects in this context of Latin America. I think for a panel will be, I think, very interesting, the stablecoin topic with Miles, with Equilibrium, and probably some others. I found out there's another project on EOS working on something like the DAI token. It's called Vigor, I think. Maybe we could invite them too. I'm not sure, but I know that there's a couple of projects working on this kind of stablecoin projects on EOS that all of them have different ideas.
Yeah. So what did you say it was called? Vigor?
Vigor with V. Vigor.
Yeah. And then there's
Yeah.
Carbon is another big player in EOS, right? Should we see if we can get someone
Yeah.
from Carbon?
Yeah, Carbon's a big player also.
Okay, so are we saying this would be, instead of having a standalone topic, we're going to do a panel? Or should we leave it open to perhaps both? Okay, one from a technology perspective, one from a kind of social importance perspective.
I would do an overview and then a panel.
Okay. Sounds good to me. And then again, as we get closer to the event, we'll see how we're doing for time. If we need to cut one of them, then we have that option.
Yeah, or if we want to split in topics like social impact and how this goes, because I really think stable coins is very interesting, and especially the risk that they're packing there, the algorithmic one and the other ones, it's interesting too.
Yeah. What about, should we go beyond EOS, like Tether?
Daniel, I was going to say, what if we made it or incorporated also the kind of the topic of tokenization and tokens for communities that don't have currency, as a kind of a broader topic. Yeah,
you're thinking for our solutions stream
here?
Yeah,
well, just related to this, to the stablecoin topic. I was reminded of a podcast that Galia Benartzi gave on some of their currency projects in Africa, and how the introduction of a cryptocurrency to a community that doesn't have any currency at all, and the profound social impacts they see from that, I think could be super interesting alongside this topic.
Yeah.
We have also a Brazilian project that's doing a pilot in Costa Rica that does exactly that. This could also be a kind of conversation if we have both, and those are kind of different solutions, and they can exchange ideas while we watch and also have ideas.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what do we call this? Like local tokens or?
Community tokens.
Community tokens.
Community currencies.
And
the title of her podcast, I think, was The Tokenization of the World. So we can play around with different ideas, but
yeah. And
what they call is community currencies. I think that's the best name, Autumn.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, related to identity, there's a similar kind of, we've got identity as a technology here, which provides access to so many people in the world who currently have no identity. You know, we're in North America, we're lucky. We've got passports and driver's licenses and things like that. So when I'm asked to go through an AML process, it's easy for me. But there are billions of people in the world who want access to these platforms that don't have the luxury of getting a passport or a driver's license. So access to identity is, from a social perspective, I think an interesting topic. And again, we've got identity as a technology here too. So we can, again, we'll see who are the speakers we can get, which is the one that makes the most sense. If we decide we don't, both of them are too much, we can cut one. But it's kind of related to that also, that community currencies. There are, a big part of blockchain is expanding access, financial inclusion. That's kind of what the community currency solves, but there's also this aspect of identity inclusion that I think this identity thing is really interesting.
Definitely.
Okay. So let's so these topics here were kind of like spitballed in the last meeting. Maybe we want to talk about them in a little more detail. So it sounds like mutual loans it's something that we're working on, and we already got a speaker in mind. So I think that stays for sure. This is new. I don't remember. So politics and public administration. Can anyone refresh my memory of what we had in mind for that?
I think we mentioned that for the possible applications of identity and blockchain into like governmental things, you know, like elections or democratical process or, you know, governance on chain, not just EOS, but like in general.
I think someone mentioned the project that is kind of following up votes. I think in the US, and they are like launching.
Yes, yes. Follow my vote.
Follow my vote. Yes. Are they on EOS? We are talking about EOS projects.
Yeah, they're. From what I understand, they're. I don't think they've finally decided exactly which chain they're going, but they're seriously considering EOS, and it's looking very likely that they're going to be launching on EOS. I know these guys well. I can talk to them and see if we can get one of them to talk about. It's like on-chain voting, and they're going to be building a pilot in parallel with the 2020 U.S. presidential election, allowing people to register and vote on the blockchain for the preferred candidate, and just to kind of as a proof of concept. And they've got some cool technology and patents around keeping your identity, keeping you're able to prove that you're a real person and vote without people knowing what you voted for, which is obviously important in this sort of a use case. Karma was brought up. And maybe we can start assigning people. So I'm going to put my name down as the point of contact to try to reach out on Follow My Vote. We've got Chitty, that was you on mutual loans. Is that right? And who's talking to Miles?
I can talk to Miles.
Okay. Do we have any particular thoughts for Karma, Family EOS?
I can talk to Dallas about Karma.
Okay.
And you are Family EOS, right?
And I am Family EOS, yeah.
Okay. Alberto, would that? So, are you interested in talking about that?
Oh yeah.
And this will be Dallas, and Alberto will be the point of contact there. Does anybody have a line to Dan Larimer? Anyone buddies with Dan can convince him to come down. I failed last time.
Super close. I'm not super close, but I talked to him briefly the other day. So
oh yeah,
I could try.
What'd you guys talk about?
Yeah.
Anything you could share? Anything interesting?
No, he was just telling me like, wow, it's so, because I mentioned something about his pattern of the identity on the blockchain. And I was saying like, wow, this could be amazing for us in Venezuela and all of this, and telling how we're waiting for voice. And he said like, oh, wow, it's so cool. I like to hear all this. Please let me know what you guys are doing in Venezuela. So
okay,
maybe
invite him down.
Curious.
Invite him down to Latin America. Okay, well, I will put you down. No pressure. And, give it a shot. And if you're not successful, we can rotate, and maybe if we all pester him, he'll come.
Yeah.
Access to identity. Again, that's kind of a general topic. No one in particular I have in mind, but I'll keep that open if anyone thinks of anyone. And this is going to be, I'm going to say Dan here. Or
who do you think that would be like, more likely to come, Brendan or Dan? Because I mean, we can reach both and probably both have, a good talk about these topics that we try.
Absolutely. Like I would say, let's try for both. and maybe even someone else. Like, is there anyone else like on the technology side,
I
or?
think it would be awesome to have like someone talking about voice and maybe Dan talking about his identity
Yeah,
pattern. Because
yeah,
I think that would be really interesting. I'd say he's more passionate about that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Oh yeah.
but we'll see who we get. Maybe Dan talks about both voice and identity. Depends who we can get. So I'm gonna put Alberto as well here because that's Dan. You're gonna be talking to him.
Dan the man.
That's right. I can talk to Liquid Apps. We already know Igor is on board, so I'm going to make this green. This is confirmed, right? Igor is going to be doing a talk on 3-second lib.
Yeah.
Eve is going to do a talk on governance. Alberto, that's easy. And I think everything else here needs confirmation. Anyone have so Chidi is working on the new zero knowledge proof. Anyone have a line into either PIOS or Privios?
Dan, I can try to reach out to Privios.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put.
I'll make a note.
Autumn and Chidi.
Yeah, I'm also trying to talk to Kyle from EOS Vibes. He's working for Previous too, but my intention was more to talk about him about sponsorship. So maybe Autumn can get in touch with him, trying to invite him to talk on the ACC, and I can try to talk to him about sponsorships and stuff like that.
That works.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Either or if you're already talking to him, you want to say, hey, come talk. That's cool too. But yeah, either or.
Yeah, Autumn. I can do it too. I can use this as a coin. I can tell them, that there's a space for you to speak here, and you think Previous is interested in sponsoring the event, and then
even better.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Even better, yeah.
Don't have to double team him. We'll double team Dan if it comes down to it, but we'll okay.
Yeah, we need that.
So we've got about 10 minutes left until we're at an hour. Does anyone else have any, again, ideas? Anyone want to raise their hand to try to go after someone? Anyone on the call want to raise their hand to speak? Do something. I don't know if they have any ideas of things they can talk about. Now's the chance. And what do we want to do between now and next call? So what are we, about a month? What 2 months? Less than 2 months until the conference, right?
Yeah, I think maybe, Daniel, we could do this offline or just get on next week like a tentative agenda for the event with the slots already like suggested, so that people can validate and we can just try to have confirmation on speakers.
Cool.
You know how this sounds.
So between now and the next call, we can work offline, kind of massaging this a little more, reaching out to our potential speakers, and then by next week it'll be more of a kind of validation, tweaking kind of exercise, and we can start talking. Are there any other topics we need to start thinking about, like things that you guys need help with, on the ground there in Rio, that you need help from the community? Things, any agenda topics we should be thinking about adding to our next meeting?
What we really need and would be awesome is to have like the kind of outreach, if you can multiply the message and really get people on board to both come to Rio and participate on this community effort. I think that's what's great. Of course, the more sponsorship we have, the more blasting the event will be. We are cool for everything that we have, but we can also have like fireworks and samba schools and those kind of things.
Cool. And I can't wait to learn how to surf.
Oh yeah, we'll have that as well. Everyone will leave Rio knowing how to surf and how to samba, how to dance.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I promise you that.
All right. All right.
Thiago, I wanted to ask you, sorry, Daniel.
No, that's good.
I wanted to ask you, do you need help reaching, or, you know, at least just trying to reach influencers or people that have like a big audiences on crypto in Brazil? Because I know there are a couple YouTube channels that have like, you know, Brazil, like a lot of followers. I don't remember this famous guy. I met him in a conference one. The one that uses a mask of an old man.
Oh yeah. That guy is not in a good branding shape right now because he was supported by a couple of Ponzi schemes. But we are mapping the local influencers. But if you can also get the message to any influencer that you know, it would be awesome. And I think that this, if we get like from both sides and from all sides talking to those guys, I think it's even more probable that they will say, oh, something's happening here. I better like be watching this. But we are on some of the main like cryptocurrencies and blockchain groups in Brazil, and we are being helped by someone that's really central in this ecosystem here. So we are doing this with the influencers in Brazil, but we also want the community from abroad coming. So anyone that you can talk, and just like extending our reach on Twitter and Telegram, and just talking about it and how this will be great. We had the idea of getting like at least everyone here and people that are coming to say why people are coming to Rio, so that more people will have this kind of argument to come. So this is kind of the convincing.
Right. We were talking about doing like a media campaign for those who are coming, recording a video of why am I coming to the Rio conference. What do you need some help coordinating it? How do we want to approach that?
I can share. We have Justin. I don't know if you are on the Telegram group. We can share there. We are creating materials and sharing daily tweets on the event that we can also share on the Telegram group. And if you guys think about just anything and you have just an idea in your head of a material that would be nice to share, just please put it out there, and we can work on it and provide you with that.
Okay, so this is homework for everybody. Anyone who is attending.
One more thing, and this is to cut this off my to-do list. I have to ask you specifically, Daniel, for the raw footage of ECC1, because we are doing a teaser on ECC.
The raw footage of the call last week.
No, of the ECC Soul.
Oh, okay.
Because we did the post-event video, right? I imagine that you have.
I don't. That was Han would probably have that, right?
Oh, there's a EOS Nation like short video, isn't it?
I don't think that was ours. I think it was but maybe I'm wrong. But
I'll check that.
I'll check with Eve. Eve would. I was not involved in the Rio or in the Seoul one. So, okay, but I will. So there was a Soul CC1 video footage. I will ask around, but I personally don't have that.
I'll just check. Yeah, I'll share with you.
Okay, cool.
I'll share here.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's on the ECC. I'll also ask him because it's we talk to him and offline as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that was us. Which channel is this? EOS Community. They have their own conference. Yeah, it's probably Han, but yeah. So ask him if he can't help you. I'll try to dig around on my end too.
Yeah, sure. Just because if you go to the end, you were the ones that are. I think.
I know we were a platinum sponsor.
Yeah,
of VCC.
No, it's here. If you go to like tour and 18, you see filming and editing was made possible by EOS Nation. Oh, maybe it was just like
a sponsor kind of perk.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have the footage, but we probably supported financially.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Yeah, guys, I've been responsible for the latest tweets, and I've been coordinating all the art about ECC. So anyone who has an idea about a new tweet that we can send or can help sharing retweets and talking about this, will help like raise the hype about the event, and we can then like increase the chances to gather more important people and build something important here in Rio. So this is important. Please, guys, support us, helping with spreading the word and getting in touch with sponsors that would like increase the chance to make this event memorable. We count on you for this.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've got a strong network here. All of us on this call have our own communities. We should be doing our best to spread the word. What can we do that might go viral? You know, what's something that will be retweeted and reshared, and maybe some
video is always king.
Yeah, I think video is key. So that we talked about having those of us who are already confirmed that will be attending, kind of doing a video why we're so excited about going. If you are going to record, make sure you record it in a landscape, not in portrait mode, and try to get a nice spot. Get the sound. Good sound is important.
Good lighting.
Good lighting. You don't have to do anything crazy like this, but so at least somewhere where you can see your face, it's bright, and we can hear you well. That's what's important.
And even if we could get a few like really fun clips from the teams in South America, just kind of capturing the essence, because that's really half of what will get people there, is they want to experience the place with the people, right? And then like everything else really is kind of secondary. So I would think if we can get just a little bit of like, the spice and the personality of the teams throwing it somehow, that would be something that would hook me personally. But other than that, Tiago, if you could just share whatever's like the most updated link for the event, I'm happy to do some tweets and Facebook posts and things.
Yeah, we'll do that right now.
What's okay. Are should we be sharing? So I know we have like the announcement post on Medium, and you also have the website. Is there one in particular that you prefer we direct people to? The website is where they would actually get tickets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that will be the website. and it's all translated. I think it's cool to share the website.
Okay. It's ecc.eosrio.io, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to just put it up here.
And Thiago, forgive me if this exists and I just haven't seen it yet, but do you have a page up yet that shows logos of attending teams or names? Because I think harnessing a good old fashioned case of FOMO will also help.
Exactly.
Like if we can just throw up all the names of people you know that are going to be there, or teams that you know are coming, that often will light a fire.
Yeah, we've got the supporters
that's
goals.
awesome.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, like
who is coming?
Who's
Who is
coming?
confirmed?
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if there's. Do you need permission from those people to post them? If there's like privacy
I'm sure
problems, but
Yeah, we
I'm
can
sure they would
just,
be happy to give
ask
their permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free publicity for them on the website. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, if we can encourage those people to all help spread the word too, we'll get a good old fashioned viral FOMO ball rolling.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, it's coming together nicely, and we're going to be doing again the same time next week. In the meantime, we'll see you all in the Telegram channels. I'll post the video to this on YouTube, hopefully help drive up the FOMO dynamics as well. And yeah, really excited to see you guys all in Rio. Anything else?
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Daniel.
No problem. Anything to add but from anyone before we wrap it up? Okay. Have a great day, guys. See you next week.
Yeah,
Thanks,
have a
gang.
good day,
See you next
guys.
week.
Everyone.
Okay, thank you guys.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.